Hello, and welcome to Awaken the Warrior. I'm really looking forward to taking you through this process and really allowing you the space to meet yourself in a way that maybe you haven't allowed yourself in the past. You may have been sitting and feeling stuck or stagnant. All that power within you, you know that you're here for more, but you just haven't been able to access that part of you. And maybe you've even hidden it from yourself and the world through the shame, the guilt, the fear, and the endless self-judgment that a lot of empaths actually hold themselves to. I'm really looking forward to this, and I hope that you take the time to sit in contemplation, allow yourself the moments to reflect upon your life and what has happened for you. Sit now with your journal and your pen, and at any time through this process that you need to just press pause and really sit with whatever's coming up for you. You're going to find a lot of treasure, a lot of golden nuggets in amongst this if you give yourself the space. So if you've been sitting in self-judgment and you have no idea how you're going to move forward, maybe you don't even know what it actually is that's holding you back. This process is designed to help you step back into your power, shift the thoughts that you have, which in turn will shift how you feel and get you back into action towards the life that you dream of. So with these modules, making sure to not rush from one to the next. This isn't a race. There's no competition. You're not going to get a certificate at the end of this. So if this takes you a day, if it takes you a week, if it takes you months, allow yourself that time to really sit with what's coming up for you. This is not a process to rush. If you really give yourself all that you need to be able to unpack this, it's going to set you up for whatever you do in the future, because this process will help you understand your values, your core beliefs, who you are, and set you into a more centered and grounded experience of yourself. You'll begin to recognize messages. Your intuition will open up. You will recognize that the mess or the perceived mayhem of your life is your medicine. And so with me now in module 1, let's step out and emerge from the shadows. What this means is, I think that, like when we hold so much judgment over ourselves, every single thing we do, we're basing it on the thoughts that we have around ourselves. And so if those thoughts are of judgment, fear, guilt, and shame, then it has us feeling those things. And then the choices that we make are coming from a place of lack, scarcity, not enoughness, feeling unworthy, unable. And so shifting those thoughts is going to help us to feel more confident within ourselves and then take the action that we know we need to take. If you're watching this, then you're a powerful person. You have innate abilities within you and gifts within you that are sitting stagnant and locked away as though they're a treasure box hidden underneath all of this. And so for us to emerge, what's possibly happened for you to come to be here and listening to me now, something's shifting within you. Either it might be a life experience that you've had that has shaken you, or maybe you've just had a gutful of not moving. Maybe enough is enough. You're sitting there and you actually you've had enough of your own crap that you're ready to make the decision to choose differently. So emerging from the shadows means that we need to come out of hiding from ourselves and our life, and allow ourselves to step back in and be a willing participant in the life that we're here to live. I ask you to create a daily practice for yourself to just simply check in. So of a morning, as you wake, it's a really valuable process to just check in and ask yourself, how am I today? Because if you wake up and you're not in your center, if you're not feeling grounded, if emotion has got you and you don't check in with that as an empath, that day is going to continue like that and will also amplify as the day goes on. So the first thing I'd ask you to do in this process is implement that ritual every single morning. It's called the check-in, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check in, how am I feeling today? And if it's less than good, investigate it, explore it and go, okay, what's going on? What am I feeling angry about? What's this sadness that I'm feeling? What's this anxiety that is coming up for me? What is this? And we meet it in the morning so that we don't allow it to control our day. The next ritual I'd love to offer you, it's a ritual that you can do every single night before you go to bed or whilst you're in bed. And I'd also say you can do this of a morning if you're somebody that spends a lot of time in dreamland, or you spend a lot of time through the day just giving away parts of yourself. If you find yourself feeling like you're coming at life not in your wholeness, this practice done every night will help you to keep track of yourself, but it'll also through the day, it gives you a really simple practice that you can do to come home to yourself. So let's go and do this with me now. Close down your eyes. Place your hand upon your heart. Just allow yourself to be present with yourself. And when you're ready, within your mind, or you can actually say it out loud, say the words, I call myself home. And if you feel you need to, I call all parts of me home now. Allowing yourself to just sit and be really present with yourself for a moment. That daily practice is incredibly powerful for empaths. What happens for us is, when I say empaths, I don't just mean empaths. I mean people that are sensitive to energy, people that are really connected to what's going outside of, like what's happening for them outside of themselves. It's a space where we might leave parts of ourselves in conversations that we've had, in experiences that we've had over our life, in places and people and all of the things. We leave little parts of ourselves, and then it comes a point in our life where we need them all to come home. And so being in our wholeness allows for us to have a more whole experience of our life. So implementing that ritual daily can really support you. So in the emerging from the shadows, when we're coming out of hiding, we're allowing ourselves to bear witness to our life. In the following modules, I'm going to ask you to, and I know that it's part of the human construct to judge ourselves, but in this process or these modules, I'm going to ask you to swap out judgment and replace it with curiosity. And let's be really curious about what's happening for us, what has happened for us, and what are we actually going to do with it? To look at our lives from the observer, rather than being in it and being stuck. we want to actually lift ourselves up above it and look down and give it the eagle eyes view so that we can see our life from an observer. What we then do is we take ourselves out of the emotion of it. I often say to my clients, not to be seduced by the drama, because it's a really great hook. When something's happened for us, or something is currently happening for us, the emotion of the situation and the drama of the situation can pull us in, can hook us. And so we'll make choices based on the emotion, the drama, the overwhelm, the stress. What we want to do in Awaken the Warrior is we want to rise above that and see it from an observer and witness it without the emotion. So if any time through this stage you get very emotional and you get hooked in, that's okay. It's okay, but just stop. Recenter yourself, call yourself home, maybe take a break, have a cup of tea, and then you can come back in. So anytime you find yourself being really seduced by the drama and the emotion, you need to actually stop for a moment. Because when we're in that emotional state, we're not seeing the story clearly. We're seeing the story based on our emotional state. And so we want to be as clear as possible. Another thing you can do before you go through this process, if you wanted to, would be to ground yourself and go out into Mother Nature. Take your shoes off, put your feet on the earth. If you're somebody like me who absolutely loves essential oils, you can grab any of the oils that are from the trees or the roots, and you can simply hold them to your nose and inhale them, or pop a couple of drops in the palms of your hands and sit and breathe them in. And if you feel really ungrounded, you can actually apply them to the soles of your feet. I also personally like the back of my neck as well. So now that we're in this really grounded, connected, whole state, we're going to start to visit the perceived mess and the mayhem of our life in the next module. Start practicing those rituals, start implementing them into your days. Give that a couple of days and then come back to the next module. Your mess, your mayhem is your medicine.